There are three main methods for invoking any deity. So you want to invoke a god into your life. He said the third method is the dramatic and perhaps the most attractive at all. Certainly it is to the artist's temperament, for it appeals to the imagination through his aesthetic sense. Let me put that in layman's terms for you. If you want to invoke a spirit into your life, he's saying that one of the three great ways to do this is through acting.
Wow.
Every night, Valentino's wife, Natasha, would hold a seance calling forth for the spirit world to help her in her creative undertaking. They would, with a pen and paper in hand, she would go into a trance and she would start writing. Okay? After the outpourings were typed out, they were brought to the set the next day and given to the director, and that's what the movies that were made.
Oh my goodness.
So when she was upset that no one had been able to come up with a script idea, she would walk about her room saying, "Forces, forces, please come and help me with this script." She would get these forces to come into her and help her write a script, and then this is what would happen. She would begin to hear the voices, images, the plot was revealed to her. She would summon the stenographers and tell them to work around the clock, and she would lie in bed in a trance-like state, dictating as the spirits entered her, and she would write the scripts and hand those to the director, and that's what they'd make.
Wow.
Good morning, good day, good evening, depending on the time you're watching this video. My name is Craig and welcome to another episode on Holistic Wellness. Today we're looking at entertainment. Are we entertained by demons? Are we being entertained by demons? We're looking at the influence, the demonic influence on the entertainment industry, such as movies and music. Are we being entertained by demons? Are we embracing demonic agendas without knowing, by participating in supporting movies and music that mocks God? Wait a minute, before you label me a conspiracy theorist, hear me out. I know many people are usually ignorant of the fact that there's a spiritual element in music, there's a spiritual element in movies. Am I saying every movie and every music we listen to is demonic? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is a demonic influence in the entertainment industry, whether we like it or not. As a believer in Jesus Christ, I've noticed few things that I want us to talk about in the entertainment industry. There are directors and writers who do automatic writing, inspired by unseen forces, to write and produce a movie without even putting a thought to it. This is not my words. They say this themselves in interviews, that I was just inspired, then they fall to a trance-like state and then they start writing. As you saw the first video, there are a whole lot of people who are vessels used by demonic entities to write and promote things that will derail people from serving God, derail people from focusing on seeking God. As I said, some spiritual entities will inspire them to come up with a movie to write or produce. I know of famous actors who channel spirits for them to perform well in the movies. They pray to the dead spirits to perform well in movies. Some say they do meditation in order to manifest the character. There's a movie called Dark Knight, the Batman movie, by Christian Bale and Heath Ledger. Now, Heath Ledger is the one on the picture here. You can see him with the makeup. This is the guy who spent a month in a hotel trying to get into character. He could meditate, he could write down things in preparation for this character. And the people who worked with him, they said the guy could be in character throughout, off scene, off camera, on camera. The guy is just in character. And there's one actor also who kind of warned him not to play around with these things of meditation and channeling of spirit, because it was gonna affect him greatly. And indeed, it did affect him. He went through depression, got sick. The guy died at the age of 28. Now, this is a sad lesson for most people who want to dabble down with demonic activities. You want to play around with witchcraft, you want to play around with demonic things. You can die from that. There is Christian Bale as well, who played Batman in the movie. The man gives credit to Satan for helping him to play that part. It was Joker who spent a month trying to get into character, doing all sorts of meditation and channeling of spirit. And then there's Batman himself. Christian Bale was playing Batman, who give credit to Satan for helping him play that part.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
So you ask yourself, is it still entertainment? Are we being entertained? Or are we just watching Satan? Are we indirectly worshiping demons without even knowing by spending time watching these movies? We need to be alert, especially if you call yourself a child of God, a Christian, a believer in Jesus Christ. We need to be alert. These things are not there to entertain us. These things are there to take us away from God. I know it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but the truth of the matter is there are spiritual implications on these things. So I want us to take a time and watch this video of Denzel Washington and Taraji P. Henson, where they talk about how they get into character. Yeah, it's scary, some of the things these people are speaking about. Let's watch.
What I did was got on my knees and sort of communicated with the spirits. And when I came out, I was in charge.
Powerful scene.
Powerful scene. I couldn't have acted that.
Playing these characters, because it's very spiritual what we do as actors. You're on the set, you have your chakras all open.
You're on the set, you have your chakras all open.
You're allowing this character to use your body as a vessel. And so you have to learn how to flip the switch on and flip it off. Otherwise, it could drive you mad. Because it's spiritual what we do. You understand? Yeah. We allow these characters and these stories to use our bodies as a vessel. That is a real, like if you think about it, that's you allowing this other energy.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. So let's start with Taraji P. Henson. She's a great actress. Now, she keeps saying in every interview she's been on, she keeps emphasizing that what she does, it's spiritual. Some of us, we say it's an entertainment, we are just being entertained, it's just for fun. She's saying it's spiritual. She kept saying that in almost every interview. What she's doing, it's spiritual. She admits that it's not just entertainment, but spiritual. Now we ask yourself, spiritual in what way? Because surely there's nothing to do with God. Let's be honest with that. It's spiritual in what way? And then she talks about chakras being open. What are chakras? And now the religion of Hinduism and Indian mysticism, they believe in many gods, and they believe that chakras represent every god they believe in. So there are different chakras, there are different gods represented by these chakras. Now, when you open yourself, this is dangerous. Now, when you open yourself to spirit, like Tara just said, you end up not being in control over yourself over time. That is why we see people like Jim Carrey. They are forever in character. Even in a simple interview, Jim Carrey cannot focus. Just in an interview, they are forever in character. This is because they have been channeling spirit. They have been opening themselves to this spirit for years. Whenever they have to do this certain character or this particular character, they always have to open themselves up to this spirit to come over and use them to act, which is one dangerous thing also. Now, one thing Tara said, which sounds very dangerous. She said, you use your body as a vessel to these characters. Now, you need to learn to switch off and switch on this character. Otherwise, it could drive you mad. That's dangerous. Wait, I thought these were fictional characters. They are unreal characters, but they become real. I believe they become real because most of these actors channel spirits, and I guess channeling spirit cause these demons to be behind those fictional characters. Sounds very dangerous. So you will ask yourself now, who are we watching on TV? These actors or spirit behind their channeling of these characters they are taking? This is very dangerous. The most dangerous thing I heard from Taraji is that you need to learn to switch off or switch on from this character. Otherwise, it could drive you mad. That's what happened to Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was channeling spirits, and it became too much for him, and he died at some point. He was depressed. I had one of our sister, Tusombedu, saying after acting on railway, she said after acting that part, she had to go through counseling, through therapy, because it was draining emotionally. Now you ask yourself, if these people are just entertaining us, why they have to go through depression after coming out of character? What kind of character was this? Because we all thought this is fictional. This is not real. This person is just acting to be somebody she's not. These things are spiritual. Sarah P. Henson said it. When they channel spirits and open themselves to this spirit, it's dangerous. You need to learn to master, to be in character and be out of character. Now let's look at what Denzel Washington said. He said he went on his knees, communicated with the spirit, and when he came out, he was in charge. When he came out, he was in charge. Then he says something that was very interesting. He said, I wouldn't have acted that. So he knows deep down he can't act like that himself. Even if he's been given that character, deep down he knows I can't do this. But he was able to do it because of this. So when you're watching the movie Glory by Denzel Washington, you are actually not watching him. You are watching the spirits that he communicated with, because they took over. He was in charge and he was able to act the parts that he couldn't act on a normal day. What are we watching on TV? How does it affect our spirituality? How does it affect our spiritual lives? How does it affect our walk with God?
Roman is a crazy boy who lives in me. And he says the things that I don't want to say. He was born, just a few months ago. I think he was born out of rage. He was conceived in rage. So he bashes everyone. He threatens to beat people, and he's violent.
And I remember right before I performed, I raised my hands up, and it was kind of the first time I felt something else come into me.
Oh, well, you didn't hear that from me. You heard it from the horse's mouth, as we usually say. Nicki Minaj is possessed by a demon of a boy called Roman. On the other side, Beyonce is also possessed by a spirit called Sasha Fierce. She calls it alter ego. She says, this person can do things that I couldn't do by myself. Naturally, I'm a shy person. You'll watch the whole video on YouTube, is there. I couldn't put the whole video. In the whole entire video of Beyonce, she mentions that she's a shy or a reserved person. So Sasha Fierce takes over. She's able to do things she wouldn't do normally by herself. It's a demon. These people are channeling spirit to entertain us. They are channeling spirits to perform. That is why the music of Nicki Minaj is full of rage. She says the boy is full of rage. He was born out of rage. The demon that is inside her manifested in her out of rage. That means it was a ritual of rage, of anger. So when you pay attention to her music, even her performances, she's always angry. It's like it's not a woman, because she has the spirit of a boy living inside her. Now, that's not conspiracy theory. It is them who are saying all these things. It's funny how these celebrities, they just openly say what they do and what they believe. And yet, Christians, they still stand and defend these people. They will tell you they are possessed by spirits. These people, they will tell you they are channeling spirits to act. These people, they will tell you what they believe. They sold their souls to the devil. And yet people have still called that a conspiracy theory. Watch and pray. These are things that open doors for demons in your life. Let God lead you. Have discernment. With that being said, have a blessed day. If you find this content interesting, please do subscribe. God bless you. Goodbye.